Oh. Hey Martin, how are you, mate? Very sorry about this, but it was a disaster trying to get sorted. Hang on a second, fam. Just give me a second on this. Okay. Right. Oi. Okay. Let me get that in there. That in there. All right. Let's see what we've got. Agent Cal Gibbs, how are you, mate? Oh dear. Well, that went a bit feral, didn't it? Sorry about that, Cal. I had everything sorted. Okay, and it said that I had duplicate stream keys. Thanks for that. Just give me a second. I've just got to set up some finer points on here and I'll get it sorted. That went for all of 5 seconds. That was it. Just give me a second, Famo. Or a minute, actually, not a second. Really? No. Well, excuse me for a second. I'll just get this sorted, family. Just so how many of these do we have? Oh, great. Please bear with me, fam. I'm very, very sorry. Hang on. Okay, so that's what we need. Yeah, for some reason when I went to start this, okay, Shark Smith Angling, how are you, bud? When I went to start this, it said that I had duplicate stream keys, so it didn't, just let me quickly finish this, fam, and I'll get onto it straight away. Paste, thank you. copy, paste, save. Excellent. Let's go back here. Okay. Please forgive me, Famo. Right, now is the audio working? Yeah, I just had a spare one, Nathan. Please forgive me, Famo. Right, now is the audio working? No, that doesn't sound like it's working at all, does it? Yeah, I just had a spare one, Nathan. That's coming out of the phone. No, that doesn't sound like it's working at all, does it? Yeah. Hang on. Oh no, that's not the right audio, Nathan. The community deserves better than that. Just excuse me for a second. Alright, live. So, live replay, upcoming, more actions, delete forever. Yes, I understand that. Now delete it forever, please. Okay. There we are. Just give me a second. I'll just sort this and then we'll dig into it. God. There we go. Now, streaming settings, audio. No, I don't want you to record stereo audio. No. Audio source. Default microphone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, let's test that now. That should be okay. All right. Let's get started. Okay, D Doggy, how are you, mate? D Doggy, how are you, mate? I'm hoping that sounds better. Okay. All right. Okay, fam, welcome to the stream. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to be doing some reel maintenance, okay? And with that reel maintenance, I did get a little bit excited and think that I'd have enough time to do all of the overheads, but I'll do them in a separate stream, okay? So these are the reels that we use. Hello, Wild Huntress, how are you, mate? Welcome to the stream. These are the reels that we use in the course of our streaming, okay? So we have two NLF30s and NLF70, a Pen 5 or V 8500 and a Pen V 10500, okay? Yeah, good D-Doggy, yourself. So, what we're going to do now is, I'm just going to show you the basics of how we go about it. Now, I went into Aldi and bought a complete screwdriver set. Right, it's got every single screwdriver size known to man apparently on there. Right, so I'm going to plonk that on the side out of the way. Sorry, Huntress. You know, it is that how it is. Right, now. Oh, you don't need to see the top, mate. But anyway, oh, we might do. There we are. How's that? One way of looking at it, Lowy. Rightio. what we might do though is, we don't really need to go that far. Yeah, exactly. Ray James, how are you, mate? Rightio. There we are. Okay, Famo. So, whenever I do reel maintenance, okay, I only use a couple of different products. Okay, I use Inox. I use marine grade high performance grease. Okay, and I also have a grease that Qualia Reels have sent me. It certainly is huntress, it certainly is. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'll start off with the smaller reels. Okay, we'll do the pins in a minute. What I normally do when I do my reel maintenance, I always pick a sacrificial towel. In Australia, around this time of day, they usually clean up the dog shit. That's exactly what's happening. Straight off the pavers to you. So, hey WA Fisherman, how are you, mate? So, with most of your reels, okay, it's always an idea to use an oil, but I don't have any. Funny that, okay. Now, with these reels, what we like to do is, I like to take them apart, okay, and then when we take them apart, what I like to do is, I always like to start off by taking off the side plate, okay. When I take the side plate, I just check if there's any water that's inside the reel, as that's a no-no. And then when I put the side plate back, I always like to make sure that the side plate is sealed with more grease, so that it can't come out. Ooh, that's not good. What happened there? Hang on. Let's have a look at this. Not that I'm going to get electrocuted by the reel. Will everybody focus on the reel and not the cat? I was going to say something else then, but Huntress is in here and she gets very offended. So, there's a cat on the roof. Oh dear. What I'll do is I'll just take that off there. Oops, come on. I was going to say something there, Agent Cal Gibbs, but you have a very attentive cat at home, so you know what it's like. Cat owners are special types of people, okay? Vaseline is a total waste of time. Fish oil is a total waste of time, okay? And I don't think there are any Teflon-based real lubricants, are there? I thought they were just silicone. So, so what we've got here is, that's the bearing that's come off there, okay? So, first thing we do, just test if any water comes out. No, it's just the main gear, but that's all right. So what you've got to do is you've just got to check for wear and tear. And what we will do here, I'll show you, okay? Just in there, everything's nice and dry. The only thing that you can see in there is the grease, okay? Which is exactly how we like it. Right, now, you've got to be careful, because sometimes with grease, it can dry out, okay? And get very, like, claggy, as they call it. We did have clag glue here in Australia when I was a kid. Now this is a sacrificial towel. So with the sacrificial towel, what happens is, okay, it's just going to get dirty and thrown in the wash and used for rags afterwards. Sure Catch Teflon plus real lube. Okay, well they're using Teflon in them. Vaseline doesn't have any heat properties. When I was in the tackle trade back in the 90s, we'd have all these elderly pensioners that would come in that would use Vaseline on their reel and couldn't figure out why stuff wasn't working, okay? As soon as it gets hot, it just gets really thin and it drains out of your reel. Fish oil is not designed as a lubricant. Fish oil is designed as, you know, a sealant or an attractant. So a good quality reel lube, or as I did in this case, because I got so many reels, right, I just went down to Bunnings, okay, and got some marine grade grease. So this is the same stuff that you use on your trailers, your trailer bearings, all that sort of stuff, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shine a bit of light on the situation, so just give me a second, and hopefully the cat doesn't jump up and start playing with the reel. Oh, that cat's name is Bruce. Okay, yeah, the cat's name is Bruce. I've been trying to befriend it for a while. It's a bit fidgety, old Bruce. Okay, so upon further examination, all the teeth on this reel look quite clean. Okay, there's no missing teeth. Right, but what I am going to do is I'm going to just go and get my headlamp. I'll be back in a second. Right, and no, Ray, that is King Chrome marine grade grease. All right, I'll be back in a second, family. Rightio. Use scope GT8000. Okay. Alright, so let's have a look. As you can see in there, everything's okay. There's no salt water or fresh water that's been in there. Okay. So, I mean, let's have a look. The grease looks like it's in good condition. It doesn't look like it's dried out at all. Now if you have a look in here, some of the grease is a grey colour. That shows it's been grinding with the gears. That's not a bad thing. We just replace it and put fresh grease in there, okay? Hey Andrew, how are you, mate? Welcome. Okay, we can use that later. So, that grease there, that's the darker colour, that's where the working gears have been, okay? So what we need to do is we need to take that out. Now that's the oscillating gear. So I'll give you the rundown how spinning reels work. Basically what happens is you have a main gear that turns around here that's also keyed into an oscillating gear. With the oscillating gear, what that does is that actually drives the main shaft of the reel up and down that lays the line, okay? So, I don't want to take this apart too much. Right, that's pretty good in there. I actually prefer using inox to oil, okay? Non-petroleum based. It gets right into the bearings, right into the reel, okay? And leaves a really good waterproof coating that stops anything getting in. Now, let's have a look. Yep, that bearing is moving freely, which is good. Okay, I've got mosquitoes biting me through my top. Right, let's hit that there. Now what we need to do is get some of our grease in here. Just on this main gear like so. Okay. What we're going to do now is, this is the bit that there. Don't want too much on there, just want enough to provide it with a nice coating. Okay, too much grease and too much lubricant can be more of a headache than not enough sometimes. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing a thin layer across here. Right, like that. And then what we have here is we just have a thin layer of grease on there. Okay. Now we're just going to put this in here. That'll key into the other bearing where it is. Excellent, just like that. Beautiful. This we're going to bring out here now, like so. Right. A little bit of grease on the actual part where the bushing and the bearing contact there. Okay, like so. And then basically what we have is the bearing has that on there. Now, one thing I always do with my reels to protect them, if you see in here, see how you have this edge around the housing of the reel? What I like to do is I like to put grease along there so that when I close the reel it forms like a protective barrier. Okay. Hey 2 Pints, how are you, mate? Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plonk that down there. Like so. In there. Cool. Great, so we've got a B in the light. Okay. Hopefully that wasn't what was biting me through my top. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we put a thin layer around there, and you've got to remember our reels are on the water somewhere usually every day. Right. Great. So I've got a mosquito in here, nice. And the last thing we want to do is give water and corrosion an area to come in, okay? So I'll just plonk that down on there, right like so. And basically what that's done is that's keyed in. Now if you see here clearly, see how it's pushed the grease out to the edge, right? That's okay. We just give that a little bit of a wipe like that, and then what we do is we just screw everything back in like so. Right, and what I always do is I always put things back in the reverse order that I take them off. Okay, always go diagonally with the screws on the reel. Okay. Oops. Like that. Maybe I should put that other light on, but we'll just wait and see. And what we'll do is, obviously you take the grease off the screwdriver or you'll never get on there. Right. So I've done the first one on the top left here. I haven't tightened it all the way. I've done this one bottom right. What I'm going to do, fam, is I'm just going to go and get a LED light. I'll be back in a second, as where I'm situated here is not the best for lighting, as you can see, but I do have some LED lights that I can use. And in that time I'm also going to get some AeroGuard and spray my back so that the mosquitoes don't bite me through my top. something else to look forward to when you come to Australia, people. Right, so get my eyes acclimatised to that. And then we'll do the last one up here. Okay, so what I did here is I tightened that one, then that one, that one, then that one. It's a little bit like when you do your tyres on your car, you always go diagonally, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, the other thing is too, great. With these here, these are corrosion points on your reel, see there? Right, so you can do one or two things. You can either spray that with a bit of inox like this on the thread, okay, or you can actually get a little bit of grease and just put it up there in the hinge like so. Okay, just adds to the longevity of the reel. Right, and then what we can do here is, once again, oh dear, then once again, hopefully it has not got the cat. Right. Got everything on this stream, animals, fishing, reel maintenance, you name it. So as you can see now that we've done the grease, like that, right, we're just going to get it to work in. Right. Can't even grip the reel. That's all pretty good to me. Look at that. Eh? Brilliant. Okay, now what I want to do is I just want to check that the line roller and the bail arm are working. The other thing is too, one of the most important things that you've got to service on your reel is obviously the line roller here. So let's just do that now. I'll take the handle back off, right, and then I'll put that in there like so. Right, now when it comes to these sorts of reels, don't try and get too fancy with them with the line rollers, right? They usually have a gap in there, and then what you do is you just work the inox in through there, okay? And then wipe the reel down before you use it so none of this goes on your line. I could take the C-clips out and do all that, but that's not too bad now. Right, and this stuff really is a wonder product, fam. I've been using this for a long time. Non-petroleum based, they even have a food grade inox. Right, that's good. That'll work through. Yeah, Aussie Welsh, what happened was when I tried to link it to the phone from the scheduled stream I had on YouTube, it said that there were two, like a duplicate stream key, so it didn't let it go ahead, which was a bit of a pain. Right, let's get this in here. Yep, and then what I'm going to do is, I might even just get a spanner, right, and undo the oh, actually, that's had a fair bit of use with the braid. Look at that, that's rocking. Let's just double check that. No, it shouldn't be rocking like that. Well, just going to go and get a spanner and I'll be straight back, fam. Okay, let me just go and get a spanner and also air a guard. Yeah, thanks, Aussie Welsh. I don't know why I had a duplicate stream key, mate. So what I had to do was just end the stream and then start, you know? I'll be back in a second. So, there we go. That's much better, I think. Let's see how that works now, fam. Is that better? Can we see now? Or has everything got a shadow on it? How about that? Okay, so Adrian, welcome to the stream. How are you, mate? Alright, so what I've got now is a couple of cloths. Okay. Just going to give these... Oh, I forgot the spanner. Damn it, I'm the spanner for forgetting it. Back in a second, fam. I was getting eaten alive by the mosquitoes, so, you know, a bit distracted there. Wait till you come to Australia one day, fam. You know exactly what I mean. So what we've done is we've managed to wipe the reel down. We've got all the excess inox and all the excess grease off the outside of the reel. Okay, so it's come up quite smooth, right? As I said. So there you go. That's a nice smooth reel. See how that's going around by its own jurisdiction there. Good work. In the valleys. Right. There we go. Nice, these sacrificial towels. So what I'm going to do here, fam, is most of your reels, when you start to use them, they sometimes get a bit of rotor wobble. See that? So that means that because this reel's not really designed for 20-pound braid, when it's undergoing stress continuously and that sort of stuff, what will happen is this will slightly loosen. So what we do is we'll just take our little cogs off there for the reel. Come on, off you come. Let's get this out here first. You've got to get these off, otherwise, come on, don't be difficult. There we go. Right, so there's your little cogs, there's your little washers and that. Okay, so in here, what we've got, right, is we've got the rotor balance there. So I'm just going to unscrew that there. Right, that's the rotor balance. Okay, like so. Pop that off. Come on, mate. There we go. So all that's held in by, right, is just a little screw there, right? And you've just got to remember where it is. Now there is a little bit of corrosion under there. Okay. Yeah, just a little bit of corrosion under there. And the other thing is too, we actually have a, if you see here, we've got another little screw that stops that loosening. Not that it really helped it much, I guess. So what we'll do is we'll unscrew that as well. And what we must do is we must put everything back in the opposite order that we took it apart, okay? Magnetic? No, great. Now that's pretty loose. I've managed to unscrew it with my finger, which is not good. Right, come on. So let's unscrew this now. Right, so what we can do now is take off the rotor, and that's basically your anti-reverse mechanism in there. See that switch that's in there? Right, that's your anti-reverse mechanism there, like that, see? Right, and you also have a bit of mechanics in there. As a rule of thumb, don't mess with it, okay? Well, that's good. We've managed to get a little bit of junk out of there. And what I will do now, okay, where did I put it? Did the cat steal the inox? Am I losing my marbles, or didn't I have a tin of inox here? Alright. Cuckoo, I'll be back in a minute, I guess. So what we'll do is, see there, that's basically where your rotor head is that works in to lay down the line. Okay, so if you look in here, right, what we have in here is you've just got where it keys into the top of the reel there, okay? That's why these are called fixed spool reels, because the reels stay there and you have the rotor arm that works around the reel as it oscillates, okay? So let me just go and get the inox. That was actually my blind spot. I honestly didn't see it. Wow, I'm getting old. I need to give it away, I think. Right. Yep, definitely getting old. Now, what we have here, right? Thank you, Ray. What we have here, see how we have that little bush in there that's held in? Right. You know how everyone has a blind spot? I honestly didn't see it until I shifted the old noggin. I personally think it's the blinding light from my bald forehead. Anyway, Gav, thanks. Right, now, we're just going to tighten this up now like this. I need to get a spanner to get this on really tight. Don't use vice grips, okay, and that sort of thing. Oh, Cal, tell me about it, mate. Alrighty, I'm just going to get this on here. Right. Even finger tight, right, is better than it was, but I'll go and get the spanner. I'll be straight back. Alright. Let's put that there, like that. There. Right, so I checked on the way through, I haven't lost my marbles. So what we want to do here is, you don't want to over tighten it, especially on graphite reels. Right, so I get it to tight and give it about 1/8 of a turn. Now see this here? We have absolutely no play in that rotor head whatsoever, and we're ready to go again. Now, if we have a look in here, we have a couple of spots where we can put this retainer screw in. Right. Really, Ray? Oh, mate. Just when you're streaming, you don't want to do anything silly like that, because me personally, I just worry and I feel that I'm wasting the viewer's time, you know, because it's just so silly. Oh, come on. So, where's that magnetic one? It's not magnetic because it's stainless, fair enough. Come on. Mosquitoes, please. I am a very large target though when you think about it. Patch the Sinclair, how are you, mate? Welcome, bud. Alright. How are you feeling today, Patch? Just excuse me for a second, fam. do that. Well, we finally got it. Don't, Mr. Mosquito, as some people call them here. Okay, so what we have there now, as you can see, right, is we have the rotor head locked in. One thing left to do, and that is to put this back exactly how we had it, which I'm pretty sure is here. We just got to check the counterbalance on this famo, because if you put it in the wrong spot, the reel will not turn properly. Excellent patch. Now, let's have a look. Where is it? All right. Everything's out tonight. The crickets, the whole lot. Don't do that to me. Come on. There it is. Rightio. Steady, steady. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to put this back on just to check that the spool is oscillating properly. Come on. There we go. Excellent. There we go, nice and smooth. Now one last thing to do, and these are the little 1%ers that make all the difference, fam. Right? These are the little 1%ers that make all the difference, right? So, see this main shaft? Right? Just a little skerrick of grease on the main shaft. Right? Like that. Right, quick wipe. Okay, and that's good. Now we get our spool. Right, hey, wondered what that monofilament was. Oops. Now we're just being silly Jimbo. Down that goes. Don't forget to put the little cog and the washer in as well, like I just did. I think I'm just going to stop rushing, famo, and just get it done. There we go. There we go. That's your little ratchet. Now, not too much on that. You don't want to get the rubbers around the spool seal coated in grease, because you'll never end up with a drag. Right. There we are. I'm just going to cut that off because you don't want it swivel bouncing around. There we go. There we go, famo. That's beautiful. Now we still have a couple of things left to do. Right, the first thing that we've got to do is take this back off. Right, and now we've got to check the line roller. Thanks, Gavin. Yeah, we're sponsored by Qualia reels. The way we're sponsored is if you want to buy one of these Qualia reels, okay, you go to the Qualia website, and at checkout you type in Australis and you get 10% off their reels, any of them that are in the shop, okay? There we go. Now, the tough bit. Let me just check that this is working. Yeah, that's not too bad, but we still need to fix this. All right. Let's just unscrew that. Now remember, you've just got to put things back in reverse. Okay? How you took them off. So, that's the screw that we took off first. Right. There's the housing. Now that's a bit crunchy, which I don't like. So there's the housing for the bearing. And that's the bearing. Right. Now, let's have a look what's going on in here. Right. I see what's happened there. Okay, so great. You'd be amazed how much grease comes out of your reels in quite small parts. UKC Fishing with Big Dan, how are you, mate? So what I want to do now, okay, is I just want to coat this with a bit of grease. And with marine grade grease, it is impervious to the salt. Right, so once we get that in there, okay, like so, good. Then we just give that a little bit of a coat. Right. How are you, Dan? Welcome. Right, just plonk that in there. Now, that's the housing that's going to go in. So, what's going to happen is when I push this down over this, it's going to push the grease up between the bearing as well. Right, that's why I've loaded it so much. There we go. Like so, you can see where the grease has come out through the top here. I'll just show you again. See that grease that's come out? Adrian, are you a fishing streamer on YouTube too, buddy? Oops, don't put that on the wrong way. And then what we do is we bring this back to here. Right, like so. Like that. Bring that back in there. Okay. Martin, yeah, mate, the only reels that I don't really put apart are the bait runners, because they're held together with Jesus clips, as we've said before. You know, you open the back of the bait runner, something flies out into the horizon and you go, Jesus, where did that go? Right. Right, let me just wind that off. Right, lovely. So we've got a fully serviceable. Why is that not working? No, come on. Did I forget to put something on there? Because that's not really holding on to well. Let's have a look. You idiot. Yeah, some of the new reels don't have anything on them, Dan, you know. Here we, opposite way, we don't have too much. We more than often not enough on there, you know. So much for being a real maintenance stream, Jim. This is more like something out of, I don't know, Keystone Cops, what is it? Steptoe and Son. You know what I mean? Come on. There we go. You don't need that much on there. Chuck that on there. Whoops, come on. Now that's better. Now we've got it flush. Yes, I can assure you it doesn't help when you've got 40 mosquitoes laying into your back, fam. Alright, great. So, we've got the correct spacer on there now. That's working beautifully, so that's going to be good for another month. Okay. Once again, we'll just wipe the reel down. I'm just going to give this reel a quick coat of this inox. I've been using this stuff for over 20 years, right? Probably 25 years now. This is one of the best. Hello, Valerie. Welcome, mate. This is the best lubricant for your reels, okay? Right, don't worry about WD-40 or anything like that. Just give that a quick coat, wipe that down. Hey, Bumpin', yeah, I actually got 2 sent to me when we got the first sponsorship, mate, so I've just emailed and asked if they can sell me just the transmitter on another one, because, yeah, you've got to have 2 sets of microphones, fam, because you never know when you're going to lose. Yeah. Alright, thanks, Loey. Thank you very much for giving up your time to come in, mate, and mod, Loey. Thanks, mate. You have a good day. Right. Right, that's good. Okay, so we got one of the small reels done. Let's put that over there. Right, let's get the other small reel done now. We'll take the spool off. Oh, yeah, that's exactly right, Bump, and you have to do that, mate. Right, let's try and get it right this time without any muck-ups. Oh, now they're just chewing me legs, I suppose. Now, let's have a look at what's going on here. Right, yeah, this has got a little bit of play in the rotor head as well. Right, which is not good. We need to fix that. So, oh, that's exactly right, Ray. Yeah, I haven't used WD-40 on reels for God knows how long, mate. This stuff here is really good. I got that shown to me in the tackle trade when I was in Perth by a guy that did all the reels like for Shimano and that. So yeah, and once I saw it and I realised the benefits and started using it, I've never ever gone back to WD-40, mate. Come on. Happy to, oh, is it Thanksgiving's Day today, is it? Why is this jammed in? Let's have a look. Just got to be careful, fam. You don't want to force the issue with things, you know, but this shouldn't be so difficult to take off like this. I don't know what's happened here. Come on. Up you get. Alright. Now let's have a look there. Ooh, that's had a bit of use, hasn't it? Okay. So that's the bottom, that's the top. Let's take that out. Now, this has a fair bit of dark grease coming out of the top of it, so I'm a little bit worried that we might have a bit of corrosion that's got in there. So what we'll do is, we'll just take this apart like so. Bumping, yeah, they do a food grade spray as well, so let's take that into there. Good. Why is that not coming off? That's the counterbalance. Alright, so have we got a bit? Yeah, see how it looks fairly dry under there? Now, let's get that out of here. Yeah, you don't want to get any lubricant on O-rings, Ray. Don't want to get any lubricant on O-rings, mate. Correct. Let me take this out here. Let's have a look. I like to do my reel maintenance once a month, right? I find if no, I'm not that silly, mate. Okay, so all in all, that's not too bad. That's our anti-reverse in there. That's all that needs to do. Good. Now let's take this out. That's a bit grindy for some reason. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this little reel apart. Now, would you like me to zoom in on the reel so you can see what happens, or is that close enough? Because I can zoom in if you want me to. And then what you can do is look at the reel as it's getting done like that. Would you like me to do that? Because we're streaming in 1080p tonight, so we'll have the clarity on the stream. Would you like to see that? Okay. Righto. Bumping, anyone else that would like to offer? Okay, let's do that. All right. There we go. All right, we're zoomed right in on the reel. We'll just treat this as the correct part of the stream, not the rubbish that I was doing before. Alrighty, fam. We've been going for an hour and used 78%. That's pretty good with that. I'll leave that there to remind me. All right, so let's get onto it. So what we've got here is very little grease there, which is disappointing. I don't want that to fall off. So what we're going to do now is, right, so that's not good. Come on. We've had everything tonight. The only thing we haven't had is a kookaburra or something land somewhere, you know. Right. Let's take that out. This is a really easy way to spear your hand too, fam, but sometimes you got to do this. Did it really? We can, Ross. If you just hang on a bit, mate. I'm just trying to get all the YouTube stuff sorted, and then once we get most of the monetization features up and running, I'll even shout you a new cup, mate. All right. Night, Valerie. So what we're doing is we're just taking it out one at a time. Right. Like so. Now this is the last one here. Hey, why is that loose? Why is that loose? What happened there? Don't tell me that's threaded. No, surely not. Right, let's have a look. So, no, they're all the same length. So what we have here is the original grease on the reel. Okay, Benton Fishing, how are you, bud? So if we take that out, like so, right, leave that there. We'll take the main gear out as well. Okay, so let's just have a quick look here. Right, so that's actually not too bad. There's no visible sign of wear and tear. The teeth on the gears are actually quite sharp. They're not rounded, there's no missing teeth, so that's all looking pretty good. Okay? That's all looking quite well. Now what have we got in here? Okay. A little bit of a grind. Right. Good, like so. Right, now what I want to do is just give this, oh, see that there? That's not good. Right, so, there we go. Just going to let that sit in there for a second. No, that's just the grease, mate. That's just this red grease here. Okay. Now, let's have a look. Let's just clean that. Don't use compressors on reel fan, because if you've got springs that are locked in anywhere and you hit it with a compressor, you could lose a an eye, you know. So let's have a look down in here. Right. I'll clean that out in there. Right, so we've given that a fairly good clean. What I am going to do though, alright, the old magic spray. Now that we've got that sorted, what we need to do is here, look at this. Look at all the junk that's in there. They actually use inox to clean down battery terminals as well. So, you know, when it comes to cleaning grease and that out of reels, it does a pretty good job. Let me just clean this out. Alright, so that's just the original grease that was on here. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people don't realise that with inox it'll actually clean a reel too. See? Look at that. It'll actually clean the gears and all that sort of stuff, so they come up spotless as well. So, what we need to do now is, we need to give that bearing just a little bit in there. Nice, that'll sit there and soak through. Right, now what we're going to do is, that's going to sit inside the bearing. Good, leave that like so. So, I'm just going to give that a fair chunk in there. Right, and just wrap that around, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to coat this main gear like so. Right, so then that way when it hits that oscillating gear, that makes the stainless steel main shaft of the reel go up and down. Right. We'll keep that off the main part there, good. So what we've done now, okay, is we've got a decent amount of grease on there. That's going to slot in okay. Let's just get some around here while we're here. Okay, so there we are. Now we've got that sorted. Now people, we have other fishing streamers in here, as you can tell by the name. Please do them a favour and support them how they've supported us. So go and subscribe to Sea Fishing or UK Sea Fishing with Big Dan, okay, Martin S, and all the other fishing streamers on here, so they can get the support reciprocated that they've given to us. Okay, now that's in there, that's good. Alright, so this is just about ready for the side plate. Now for some reason in here, fam, this was a bit flogged out. I'm just going to clean these screw holes and find out what's happened, you know. Now let's have a look. These are all the same size. So why have we got such a difficult thing? Okay. Oh, Benton, most reels are the same, buddy. You've just got to, you know, I mean, everything's easy nowadays, mate. They just palm it off to someone else, you know. Take it into the store, you know what I mean? Yeah, they'll do it. I mean, we had one store in Perth years ago that incidentally closed down. They charged you 15 bucks to pick up the reel and go, yeah, it's stuffed. And it's like, well, we could have told you that. No, it's 15 bucks, thanks. You know, just the audacity of it. Wait till we do overheads, Benton. Then, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a thin layer of grease on the edge of the reel here. And also on this side plate. Okay. Now this is a metal reel. So, you know, you want to be able to put a bit of grease on there so it forms a barrier that keeps water out. Right, and we are going to put this on in excess so that when we put it on in excess it gets pushed out the side. Right, okay, can't beat the old pointy finger to put grease on. Now we'll just plonk that down on there. Right, now see how that's pushed that out on the side there? Right, that means that it's formed really bumping. You might have to take it into your local tackle store, mate. It could be something as simple as a clip that came out, you know. Now, we need to figure out what's happened here. Okay, great. So that has been cleaned out. Let's get this in nice and tight. Hey. Oh, we have a possum, I think. Right, let's get this one in. We got another possum on the roof, damn it. Good. Get these on nice and tight. The handle comes off very easily. You haven't cross-threaded the handle, have you? Okay, well, good. Now, why is this not screwing in? No, this has been threaded, I think. Yeah, that's been threaded. Well, what we need to do here is keep that in there. What I might do is I have an old NLF30 body somewhere. What I will do is I will swap that out for this new one because I think the reels are fairly similar. All right, now let's have a look in here. What is this? Oh, that's a bushing. Let's have a look. No, that's all one piece. How the hell did they engineer that? Okay. Yeah, you got to be careful with the old Loctite patch. That's when it goes on but doesn't come off, you know what I mean? Right, that's good. Look at all the gunk in there. Hang on, Femo. Good. Just get out there and drain now. Okay, so what do we got here? That's the bottom of the rotor where it sits. Okay. No, don't use the Loctite, mate. You've got to sit down and figure it out. There we go. Right, now that's good. No, that's not good. Get in there. Good. Great, they can go on there now. Let's get rid of that. Just going to screw this on by hand, then use the spanner. Right, then we'll get both these reels. And don't be afraid to use a bit of excess grease on your reel in that, Famo, because what will happen is, right, all that happens is when you go to tighten it all up again, you just wipe it off with the cloth, you know. Right. Okay. Now, beautiful. So, see here, absolutely no plate. Oh, hang on. So much for my bold statement. Oops. Come on, you need to be at the bottom of the oscillation. Yep. There we go. Nope. Hang on. Ah. There we go. Now that wasn't the real doing a burnout, that was someone else. Okay, so now there's absolutely no play in that, okay? Nothing at all. So that's good. What we need to do now is we've got these two screws here, right? We need to plonk that in there, like so. Get in there, mate. Oops, I need to... Come on. So that's going to go in there. What this is going to do is that's going to hold that in place. But what we might do first, that's better. That's definitely no play in there now. Okay, so that's the stopper there, and now what we need to do is just get this on here, like so, like so. Come on. Just give me a second, fam. After the reassembly, okay, it could be something really simple, mate. Right, that's in there now. Good. Come on. Beautiful. That slipped out of my hand because of the grease. That's right, we know it's on tight enough. There we go. So that's all good, famo. Right, that's moving perfectly, very smoothly actually. So what I'm going to do is give that a little bit of a drink. Right, but before that, what we will do is we will sort out this here where the bar arm hinges. Now there is a gap in here, right, so you can hear the inox going into the gap. Yeah, that's it bumping. And look people, don't forget to click on that like icon, right, and if you're new to the stream, please subscribe, okay? You can subscribe for free on this platform. Now, what we need to do here, let me just suss this out. Right. Is that a better angle? That's more like it. Good. So, what we're going to do now is the line roller. Oh, come on. That's not really a good sign. The whole thing moved there. Right, let's have a look. Rightio. Now, before we go any further, that needs to go to there. That needs to go to there. Come on, why is that difficult? That's right. There we go. Rightio, so let's suss this out. There we go. Absolutely dry as a bone, fam. That's embarrassing. Look at that. That's as dry as a bone. Not good enough. Absolutely not good enough. Don't tell me no. Bearing's still working. Good. Let's get this off. Okay, you little tyrant, you need to come off. Right, come on. Just got to be careful because we don't want to upset anything here, you know. Why are you coming out? Someone got a new exhaust for Christmas. Now, I'm going to have to actually let this soak, I think. Yep, that's going to have to soak. Right, I didn't realise that had dried up. Such a bad parent. Hey, that shows you exactly how good this stuff is. A couple of sprays, it got through everything. Oh, and dislodged that. That's right, Ross. Now, see what I mean? See that there? Look at that, how See how we've got the little marks on the actual shaft there where the line roller goes? So, that's very bad reel parenting, Jim. So, let's get this going. Alright. Now, chuck that in there. Alright, that's gone all the way in. Great. Lovely, that's actually keyed in now. Excellent. Now that needs to go on like that. Let's do that again. No, that's not right. Hang on, Fema. Okay, let's have a look. Now, is this missing? It can't be, surely. That's not good. No, that will go in there properly like that. Great. There we go. That's how you put that in the ring like that. Hey, rightio. Now, let's get this going. Right, so no, let's go back again. That's better. Now, that's going to go like that. So that has to go in there like that, right. Let's just plonk that on there. Nicely does it, brilliant. Nope, that needs to go on there. Brilliant. This goes through there like that. That goes on here like so. Oh, tell me about it, Dan. I have passionate hands. That's why so many people are amazed that I can actually tie flies, because I've got like a 10-inch hand span, you know. But anyway, stranger things have happened. So we're just going to screw this in here. We've got plenty of grease everywhere. Don't worry about the excess. I'm going to wash that off later. Great. Excellent. Yes, that's moving beautifully. Alright, so everything is good for about another month. If you're using your reels every day like I do sometimes, it's not a bad idea to, you know, clean them out every couple of weeks. But That's right, Schindler. Right. Now, a little bit in there. And why is that handle jammed in there? Get out of there. Let me show you how good this sprays again. It doesn't take much for corrosion to get into your reels, I'm telling you. Right. That'll jam into the reel now. Oh, that's right. And the flip side to that patch is always hard to find glasses, you know, when you like need to wear the glasses, you know what I mean? That's not as good as the other one. Oh no, that's right, that's coming back. That's good. There you go, famo. Right. This is the one that does all the work. There's always usually one reel that does all the hard stuff, you know. Right, so we're just going to wipe all the excess grease off. There we go. Right, that's good. Now we've got the grease packed into the head there. Underneath. Alright, that's been taken into the main shaft there and held. Right, excuse me for a second. Oh mate. Edward Scissorhands, you know. Now, what do we got here? Just in the head of it. Just underneath it. Obviously not getting it on the rubber. Right. There we go. Whoops. Focus, Jimbo. Do you know what focus is an abbreviation of, everyone? F off because you're stupid. I got told that at school by my teacher. Thanks for that. There we go. Alright, so we have 2 of the smaller spinning reels down. Right. Now, what we're going to do is do the larger spinning reel. This will be a bit easier to see, famo. What I might do is just bring that in a bit closer, like so. Let's take that off. Whoa, hello. Yep, that's definitely going to be coming off. Right, so let's get that back there a bit. Let's have a look what's happening here, fam. Hey, it's a bit clunky. Oh, a bit of rotor playing there. See that there? Right, a little bit of rotor playing there. Look at that. Right, so what we'll do is we'll take that off first. Come on. Come on. There we go, get out of the groove there. So I'll just give that a quick wipe, like so. What I'll do is I'll do the overhead reels in another night, fam. Right, so we've given that a tickle there. Now, This one doesn't have a counterbalance on it, so it must be inside the head. If not, they've managed to balance it up properly. So let's just oops, is that going to come off there? Now, with these larger reels, what they usually do is they have a sleeve in there. So there's the screw right here. Okay, there's the screw, like that. Now what it is here, there should be a little sleeve, just like that. So see that? That's what keeps your rotor nut there from unscrewing. Right, so we'll just plonk that there. Now, that's a bit dodgy. Right. Let's take, oh, that was a bit loose. Now, okay, so this is a little bit more intricate system here, Famo. Now, at the bottom there, it grips. That's not good. So what's happening there that's so... Right, the first thing that we can do here... Right. Okay, so that's in the rotor head. Don't muck around with that, Jimbo, at all. Oh, look at that spring. That's just a nightmare waiting to happen, isn't it? Oh dear, let's not get excited. Right. So what I'm going to do is, now this is interesting. On the bigger reel, right, I can't unscrew that handle because if you have a look in here, right, the anti-reverse is actually in the rotor there, see? See how we've got this little bit of sand and that sort of stuff in there? See that? That's where the anti-reverse is. It's built in. So what we need to do is wipe this out. Right. Give that a bit of a coating. Just for good measure. Just protect that. Right, like so. Now, let's just clean that off. Right. Let's get a little bit of that in that brass fitting there. Okay, that's smoothed up straight away. Okay. Right, now, that's all right. What have we got here? That's the bearing. No, do not muck around with that at all. Do not muck around with that at all. Right, so that's now clean. That can go in there. It's got a key in, please. Click key in. No. There we go. Whew. Right, we've got it to manage to key in. Right. So what I'm going to do now is just plonk that over the top. Okay. Good. Bit of grease has come in from underneath, which is exactly what we wanted it to do. Right. Beautiful. That's its minimum. So let's just tighten this up now. Right, so all the play has gone in the rotor head there. Right, which is good. That's all good there. Okay. So, what we'll do now is... sounded like a sound effect from a cartoon, didn't it? Right. So what we're going to do now, as we bring this back a bit, right, what we're going to do now is we're just going to coat that in there, coat that in there, like so. get that to work in. That's nice. Good work. Now we'll take the handle off because we've got the rotor head working now. Yeah, that's alrighty. Now let's check out this line roller, shall we? Right. Oh dear, that is a little bit dry, I think. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, terrible. Right, so a little bit of grease in here. Let's just see why this didn't come out. Brilliant. Now give that a little bit of a clean. I actually prefer to use this inox to oil, to be quite frank with you. Okay, it just yeah. Let's really pack that in there nicely. Let's get a bit of grease on here. Now, that's going to go on like that. Beautiful. Once again, bit of grease on here. Because this is going around at a rate of knots, right, it's one of the most susceptible places for your grease and oil and what have you to just fly out from the reel. So, let's bring that in there. Obviously, I'm going to have to give this a little bit of a wipe down before I put one filament on it, especially in fresh water, because the fish will pick up on the odour. Okay. Now, let's get this in here. This is way too much grease for this line roller, but this is the way that I find it to work the best. And like I said, I'll just give it a little bit of a wash. When you wipe it off, it leaves a little protective coating. Okay. Okay. So now we just take all the excess off and check that it's working. You saw how dry that was. Right. Yep. Line roller's working fine, fam. Okay, line roller's working absolutely fine. Good. Let's just get this in here. Nice, that's that last turn. Right, yo. So now what we need to do is get this back on here like so. Oh, it's keyed in. That never happens. Right, here we are. So we've got that keyed in now. Right. Come on. Great. Right. Top and bottom. That's the bottom because it's flat, the top's slightly rounded. Right, and what we need to do is just bring this down to here. That'll hold it in the spot, like so. Right. Come on, in you go. There we go, fam. Some people over here snip the bar off for sea fishing. Big Dan, that stems from the old Mitchell reels. Do you remember the old Mitchell 499 Pro? what they would do in the old days is Mitchell couldn't sell their reels anywhere in the world apart from Australia, right? And the 49 Pro had no bar arm, right? And that's where that sort of method to that madness comes from, you know. I mean, each to their own, but I wouldn't do it because it can upset the balance of your reel, you know. They go to great lengths when they, you know, make reels, mate. And you'd be amazed at the technology that goes into it, you know. Right, so that's good. Bar alarm's ticking over, lovely. Oops, lovely. Yeah, so the old Mitchell Pros didn't have this, or they had like a something on there, but they had the just that without the bar alarm. Shocking oscillation, but they sort of suited the Australian market because Australia wanted a really simple reel. They could hold a lot of line that they could winch things with, and had a strong drag system, which is what Mitchell's did. Okay, come on. Whoa! Hello. We'll just suss that out in a second. Alright, fam. Let's take these screws off. Near or impossible. Let's get this out of here. Is the picture clear enough? We're streaming in 1080p tonight, so it should be. That's a bit crunchy in there, I don't like that. Usually a sign that corrosion is inside this, we'll find out. Okay. Audio's good, picture's perfect, excellent. Now, there's our 4 screws. Let's have a look at this now. Hey, that's straight out of the packet like that. Take the bearing out, take the main gear out. Hey, okay. Now, when I got the sponsorship from Rodan, they gave me 2. So I said, look, you know, in case I damage one or lose one, so I had to use a spare one, but obviously I don't want to use the spare one if I can get away with it. So what I want to do is I want to see if I've can get that battery to charge. And the other one, come on. Excuse me for a second, I'm just going to degrease my hands and be straight back, okay? Right. So, let's have a look. Rightio. That's all good. Right, now that we can get a bit of grip, find this very frustrating. Come on. I don't like doing this, but I don't have much choice. Right. Now, is that turning in there? Alright, that's not the point. Right. So, what we've got in here now, fam, is the bearing there works, which is not the issue. Okay, and what we've got to do now is clear all this up. So I'm just going to give this a clean with the inox. This is the other good thing about inox, it can actually clean your parts. Right, a lot of people use inox to clean battery terminals. Now see all the gunk that's in there, right? The inox will clean all that out. Let's get rid of that. Right, that's all off there. Great. So we'll just give that another quick tickle and get all that grease out of there. Rightio. Okay, so what we've done now is clean that part with this. Right, like I said, a lot of people don't realise that this can clean your parts as well. I've got a little bit of residual grease in here. As you can see, it's sort of dried up a bit, but we'll take that out now. Okay, so let's just use the old magical grease applicator known as your finger. Right, best one of the lot, fam. Right, now oops, that's good, it's got a nice coating on it. What we'll do, we'll just get another nice coating on this as well. Plonk that in there, like so. Beautiful. Now, that's slotted in there, great. A little bit of grease around here, like so. We'll just clean that as well. Now these are sealed bearings, right, but it doesn't hurt to just give them a little bit of a hit with the old inox before you put the grease on them, or That's for the plate. Now, what I'm going to do is, like I said to you, whenever I put a reel back together, I like to put a bit of excess grease just on the frame, right? So see this here? See where all this is? Right, we'll just clean that. Right, bring this in here now. Right, like so. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on the edge of this side plate, like so. Going to take a bit of the excess out though. Right, this will form an impervious barrier to the salt and water that tries to get into it. Right, and it'll just press it all out when it goes on there. So on we go. Whooper. Great. A little bit grindy. I'm not happy about, but anyway, you can't have everything. Right, so we'll plonk that in there, that in there, that in there. Oh, someone hasn't paid someone for a pizza. Right, that in there. Oh, look, a little millipede. Get off me. Australia, land of insects. Right, so that's the first screw there. That's the second screw there. That's not good. I've got a bit of sand in there, I think. Hang on. Let's get that out of there. Drop that down. Much better. Much better. That cleaned everything out of that. Sounds like someone's trying to kill someone somewhere. Gotta love suburbia. Living the dream, as they say. Right. Right there. Okay, so what we've done is we've managed to get everything on there. There's no play in the rotor head. All right. Right, that's now in there. We're going to give this a wipe down with a fresh towel. Like that. That's okay for a reel that size, you know. Beautiful. Now, plonk that on there. Right. Now there's your, just a little dollop on here. Not too much. You don't want it to get on the rubber on the side because that will affect it. Right. Okay. Now it's 9 o'clock already. Well, rightio. That's all pretty good, fam. Nice and smooth. Alright, there we go. So look, we've managed to do 3 reels. What I'll do is I'll do another reel maintenance stream tomorrow. Okay, we've managed to get the 3 Qualia reels done. Alright, on 2 of them I'm a bit embarrassed about the condition they were in. Right, 1, 2. That's right, Bumpkin. Or Bumpkin, sorry, not Bumpkin. Sorry, I was thinking of a Rodney Reed song there. Alright, there we go. So we've done our 3 reels. We've taken all the corrosion off the reel seat. Okay, they're all going quite smooth now. It's all good. But just a little thing too, see this point here on most reels that you see? Right, that's one of the places that corrosion always gets into. Right, I just give it a little sleeve of grease in there and away we go. Alright. So okay, so look people, thank you very, very much for tuning in. I'm not going to do the 2 pen reels. I'll do them tomorrow night before the weekend. Alright, so as I always say, stay safe and stay well. Right, Dennis Redder, how are you, mate? Welcome to the stream, bud. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for subbing. Don't forget to click on that like button as well, fam. Alright, and oh yeah, I'll throw them in the bin, mate. I'll go, oh look over there, something's on special, and then, you know, work from there. But it's always best to use a white towel when you do this, because you can tell, you know, like for example here, we've got different colours of grease. Red, green, black. That's obviously where stuff has been grinding or rubbing. Green is the grease that I'm using. That's the original grease that was in the Qualia reels. Right, so, you know, you can actually differentiate and look straight away at the grease and know exactly what's going on. Okay, all right. Oh, you're welcome, Martin. Well, wait till tomorrow, because what I'll do is I'll show you how to do the big pen reels. They're actually quite a good reel to do, these ones. Okay, and then when we get to the overheads, I'm going to pull a couple. I'll probably pull an ambassador overhead apart and then put it back together live on stream to show you how to do it. Okay, so thank you very, very much for tuning in. I will see you all tomorrow at some stage, and until then, keep being awesome. Okay. Really, Streamlabs?